Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. This is going to be quite a quick one, but I have picked up a new gadget from DJI. This is an addition to my arsenal of vlogging tools. I am not sponsored by DJI. I bought this myself, but in the interest of full transparency, I did write to them, me as a nobody vlogger, to say, could I possibly have a DJI Action 5 Pro to review? I fully expect them to say no. I even said that in the email, and I said I look forward to your rejection in due course, but haven't heard from them. So I'm going to assume no news is good news, right? Anyway, I was going to do an unboxing of this, but this is kind of it. A couple of other little things. So essentially, this came out with, say, alongside the DJI Action 5 Pro action camera, but it is compatible with the Action 4 that you see here. And of course, it has the standard DJI clamp / semi-magnetic sort of attachment thing here. And I believe the Action 5 Pro has exactly the same cage. So basically, you know, you can clamp this on any way you like. You'll notice here that there is a ball joint. So if we unscrew this, we can, of course, angle this to whatever angle you like. And in addition to being a handle, it is in fact also a tripod. So there are two legs that come out the back here that you can use to stand it up. So you could then angle the head and you could have your DJI Action 5 Pro facing horizontally if that was your wish before you lock it off. But it's not just a stand / a handle. It's a multifunction charging handle, right? So we've got a couple of tripod screw attachments here. So you could attach this to a very long selfie stick if you wanted to. You could attach an accessory on here if you wanted to. But what you're able to do is basically take out this door here that comes on the Action 5 and you get a replacement door. How's about that? And if you clip it in like so, okay, so that's now in there. There is a USB-C cable that comes out of the back of the multifunctional charging handle. And now you can, essentially, this gives your Action 4 / Action 5 Pro more battery life, but also it gives you some very handy controls on the handle. So, okay, I'm going to go through the controls with you guys now, and I'm going to be completely honest and upfront. This is about my 5th attempt to record this part of the video because this has been causing me some problems. Once you have your Action 4 or Action 5 Pro safely attached to the multifunctional charging handle and you've plugged it in and you've made sure that this door, etc., is flush, you are now kind of presented with these controls. There's 4 controls. There's an on button, a QS quick shots button, a C button, and the record button. Okay, now I'm going to be honest with you, I've been having some problems here, so let's see if we can replicate them now. It'll probably work absolutely fine, but when it does work absolutely fine, because I'm recording now, I'll explain to you what the problems were. Now, you might think that turning this on button on will turn on the camera. No, 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 no. All it does is it turns on the handle. So you hold this in for 1 second, and now you can see we've got the 4, kind of the standard sort of 4 lights for DJI, if you like. And we know the camera is now linked to the handle because this little green pip here is flashing on the front screen and on the back screen, which means that this camera is now in a charging state. It is receiving a charge from the battery that is in this handle. Now, to turn on the camera, you press the QS button once. And here's the problem. 2, 3, 4. Right, you've just seen me press that button 4 times in order to get this camera switched on. And not only has it not switched on, but for a little while there, the charging pip disappeared because the camera basically lost connection with the handle, and I don't know why. 5, There we go. Right, the screen is now on. Now you can use the C button here to flip between the screens, and there is me looking at you, looking at me, looking at you, etc., etc. Okay, so we can press it again and we can flip the screen back again, no problem. The quick shots button, rather confusingly, also switches the screen, which is a little bit confusing. I don't know really why it does that. But essentially the main purpose of this button, let me just flip back to the front, is that if you keep pressing it, you can now change the mode that you want to shoot in. Okay, so I'm going to flip the screen back. We're currently in photo mode, so I'm going to take a photo with this button. So far so good. And I'm going to go to this quick shots button. I'm going to go to video mode, and we're going to record a video now. So the icon has changed. And there we go. It is, of course, recording the video. When I am recording the video, I can, of course, still swap between the screens if I want to, without any problems. Okay. So I'm going to stop recording. The problem I found is that, like I say, if I turn this off now, so it's a 1 second press using QS to turn off the camera, it doesn't always work to switch it back on. It did it that time. Let's turn it off. And it did it that time. Screen switch. You'll have seen earlier though, and in previous attempted recordings of this bit of the video, that it's taken me up to 8 times to press this button to get this to turn on. And occasionally it's like the camera completely loses connection with the handle, because this charging indicator disappears completely. It will basically go blank like that, as if the camera has lost connection with the handle. And that's been quite frustrating. And as I say, this is the first proper run through I've had for this video review. But even then, you'll have seen that when I first tried this, there were some problems. Now it's working. So I don't know whether this is a faulty unit or what, or whether there are some kinks to be worked out in the firmware, whether this connection wasn't quite there. I don't really know. But you'll have seen earlier on in this video that I had problems switching this thing on. However, it's actually a very handy tool. Like I say, you've got a little tripod here, and you've got extra battery. Now the Action 5 Pro that I don't have has an even larger extended battery in it than the Action 4, although they are compatible with each other. But having extra battery stuff is always good. I always carry spare batteries with me with my Action 4. I always carry them in the power bank charger, and I think I've had to change them like once in the field, so it's not really a problem. But I like having extra batteries. And then, of course, once you're done, you can turn off the charging handle, and I believe this will now stop charging. Actually, it's still on. That'll be why. If I turn it off from the camera, and there we go. The camera is no longer getting a charge from the charging handle. So if we turn the charging handle on again, the lights come on and the charging indicator comes on, and yes, success. We can turn the camera on. Okay. So I wouldn't be too worried about the little quirks that I've shown you. I think it might just be possibly a quirky unit that I've got here. I'm not really sure. Anyway, at the back here, we have a rubberized panel, and this is where you can essentially charge it from. Okay, and there's also a microphone port there as well. So this is how you would charge the handle, and I believe it then does through charging to the camera itself. So, you know, if you're vlogging, you can leave this probably on all the time, really. Although I tend to use my Action camera in different positions. So, for example, I'll mount it in my car, either facing me or facing forward, or on any of the other sort of multiple kind of attachments that I've got. As I say, if you want it to be waterproof, you're going to have to take off this door, and you're going to have to take the original door, and you're going to have to snap it back on. which like so, and then close the door. As long as you can't see any red, if you can see red, it means it's not closed properly and it's not waterproof. But if you can close it and not see any red, it means this is now waterproof up to a predetermined depth. But of course, you'll need the external cage in order to sort of take it anywhere super deep. I can't remember how deep this is meant to go. Is it 10 meters or something? I think the Action 5 is 20 meters. So don't quote me on that, right? So this handle, I think it's going to be very useful. I do tend to use what I'm filming, my Osmo Pocket 3, for vlogging more. And then this, as I say, tends to sit in a place in my car if I want to do a piece to camera in the car. But as a backup vlogging camera, yeah, definitely, I can see this being dead handy. Just a bit concerned about the few quirks that this one is showing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I might have to investigate why it doesn't always want to turn on. Let me just, I'm not going to put the protective cover on. Let me just plug this in for a moment and just see if we can get it to do it again. So it's now on, we are charging, and it's on. It's working all the time now. So your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the DJI multifunctional charging handle for the Action 4 and the Action 5 Pro. I hope it's been of some benefit to you. And thanks very much for watching. Bye.
If you enjoy what I do here, although I can't think why, please remember to click the like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. You might also want to check out my website, www.worldsbestestpoet.com, if you fancy a laugh.